Welcome to another YouTube video. It's your girl Chrissy Chella here, and today it's time for Cooking with Chrissy. It's been such a long time since I last did an actual dedicated cooking video, and I know how much you guys absolutely love these videos. I thought I would show you a full day of eating that's actually practical, high protein, healthy, and pretty quick. So if you have zero experience with cooking, I guarantee you and I promise you that these meals are pretty dummy proof. And you know why they are? Because I can do them. I don't know how to tell you this. I haven't not been doing the cooking videos because I didn't want to. I met a man that now cooks every single meal for me, so I never cook. I will say there are 4 key recipes that I could do over and over again that I love. They're delicious, they're easy, and you are gonna absolutely adore too. So without further ado, I'm gonna actually light my candle, set the tone, make it romantic for me and you. By the way, if you ever wanna get me a gift, because I know that's how much you love me, Aesop candles, the best. That is not an ad. I wish it was an ad from Aesop. Best candles. So we're gonna put that there, set the ambiance. And without further ado, let's get into breakfast. Breakfast is gonna be spicy, spinachy egg tacos. What a mouthful, but it's super easy, I promise. We're gonna get 4 eggs. This is enough for 1 person. So if you wanna make more, then I would say 5 to 6 eggs. But 4 eggs, you're gonna get a very good amount of protein. If you like things a bit more spicier, add a bit more jalapeno. If you like things a bit more milder, don't add jalapeno at all. But the ingredient you are definitely adding is spinach, even if you don't like your greens. We're gonna saute them, and cheese. By the way, don't judge my pan, okay? Don't judge my pan, it's been through it. Olive oil, because I'm Mediterranean. Spinaci. In another pan, once that's all done, this is optional by the way, it depends on your time. So I always grab the flour tortilla, and you can add a bit of butter on the pan or olive oil, and I just warm it up slightly so it's not just like bone cold, and it adds a bit of crunch to it. The other way you can do it is, that I love to do it and it becomes really crispy, is you put your egg inside your tortilla, you close it up, you add a touch of olive oil, and then you high heat it, and then you just somewhat fry it on either side so it gets really golden brown. And then you make these crunchy flour tortillas. But again, if you don't have time for that, just whack it in the flour tortilla and eat it the way that is, and it's just as fine. Moving on to my banana split high protein smoothie. This one is a little bit low on the carb side, so I would classify this as a great high protein snack, or actually a great post-workout or even a pre-workout meal. It depends on what you're looking for. But I would necessarily have this as my post-workout meal. High on protein, it's great potassium, and it's sweet. I have such an obsession with sweet stuff. I love sweets over salty. That's just how I've always been. So if I can manage to get my sweet kick in every avenue of my life, I simply will. That doesn't mean that I deprive myself. I still have the things that I love. I'm in this for the long run, not just to get a quick fix. But I do love the fact that this banana split high protein smoothie does incorporate an element of sweetness to it. These are all the ingredients you're gonna need, and we're gonna blend them all together.
That's very good.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I should be proud of myself.
Does it have protein powder?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Cinnamon.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a kick of cinnamon, but it's good. This is really good. It's fresh, it's clean. You can drink what?
3 of them.
You can drink 3 of these? I've done my job here. Bye guys, that's it for now. Ciao. No, I'm joking. Right, next meal. All right, welcome back. So we're gonna make a very easy and probably offensive to many Italians out there, pasta. We're gonna make a spaghetti, chili, garlic, tuna pasta. It's actually pretty basic. Remember, the premise of this video is high protein and quick. The premise of this video is not to be mad at Chrissy because she's making pasta offensive to Italians. Remember that. Okay, cool. So I've got the water warmed up and there's been a bit of predicament here in my household. So my videographer is actually Italian. My partner is Dominican, I'm Albanian. So the way I cook is pretty ratchet. I just need to get it done as quickly as possible so long as we get to the finish line. But some people don't really have that perception. So what I tend to do is boil the hot water, put salt and a bit of olive oil, and then I add the pasta. But I remember I last did that in a YouTube video and all the comments were like, what have you done? That is not how you cook pasta. So please tell me if you have a better way of cooking pasta. Let me know and let everyone know because I don't want to do this wrong. Letting the water boil, I'll add the pasta in a bit. Top tip, buy your garlic pre-peeled. That will save you so much time. And there's numerous ways that you can cut your garlic. For the purpose of this meal, I'm actually gonna cut them pretty chunky. I eat with my eyes, so it has to look somewhat appealing. Thought my first pan was bad. Oh! It's clean, it's clean. It's just had a time.
How do you explain that?
We don't explain it, we just keep using it. Let's make the sauce. So the base of this dish is the pasta water. So that's why you want to also equally season it quite a bit. Add a bit of olive oil. And then you should be good. But we're not adding any creams, we're not adding any sauce, you're not adding any of this type of stuff. You're keeping it quite simple, but you are going to add a little bit of butter just to like thicken it up a bit, add a bit of flavoring to it. And then the bulk protein of this is going to be 3 tins of tuna canned. This should feed, it depends how much pasta you make, how much sauce you make, it really depends, but it should technically feed around about 3 people or 4 portions. So maybe if you're making 4, a tin a person. Yeah, okay, cool. We'll do 4. No one makes me more nervous than my own fiance when he comes and checks on my cooking. Look at, put the camera on him. You're toxic. No, because you're questioning my cooking. I don't blame him, it's pretty bad sometimes. Actually, the meals I've made this time are actually really good.
It's actually very good. One time, we made ABS like rice with salmon and veggies before I had to get on a plane from the UK to here. And it was like the best meal I had, and it saved my stomach.
Wow, thanks for your facts. I made him a homemade meal before he got on an 11-hour flight. We would do long distance before we moved in together. So I was living in the UK, he was living in LA. We are both living in LA now, but we would do long distance. And if you know anything about plane food, it's gonna absolutely ruin your stomach and ruin your entire soul. So before he'd get on planes, I'd always make him a homemade meal. And it was always like salmon, rice, veggies, some fruit, and I think that's what made him fall in love with me, actually, because he was like, oh, it's so caring, but I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I just didn't want him to have like an upset tummy. So it's the little things that count. Remember that. It's called Karen. It's called Karen. I know what he said. I'm pulling his leg. That's good. I need salt. I'm a salt gal. That's good. Okay, we're making the last meal of the day, and actually Vic is gonna assist because he makes steak better than I do. So we're just gonna keep it really light and simple. Steak with grilled veggies. So how are you gonna make the steak?
So we're gonna make it very complicated and put olive oil and salt on it. And then pan fry it at medium-high heat for 7 minutes each side. And then let it rest for 7 minutes.
Do you put olive oil in the pan?
Yes.
Okay.
And the video will show that.
Okay.
You wanna turn on your pan, not your fan, and wait until it's kind of smoky, so it's actually hot, and then put the olive oil. What happens is that people turn on a pan and they put oil in it and they see it smoking. The pan is cold, but the oil is smoking.
That's literally what I've done the whole video.
It's okay, everybody does that, but
okay.
You know, like you wanna heat up your pan first, then you put your oil, and the oil is gonna heat up very quickly. Then you start cooking. That way you don't have sticking.
Okay, let's prep the meat.
So we're just gonna put some olive oil on the steak, on both sides, and then salt. One hand, rub the steak, the other one, salt. You wanna get it everywhere. And the real trick is that if you know you're gonna cook steak, you wanna leave it out until your steak achieves room temperature, which usually takes 2 to 3 hours. Because a cold steak will actually not cook as well as a room temperature steak.
When I first met Vic, the one thing that genuinely made me fall so in love with him is the fact that he cooked. And he didn't cook just cooked, he cooked really well, and he taught me a lot of things. And he really loves showing his love through cooking. I don't. Like, if someone asks me to host them and cook for them, I don't think I've reached that point in my life where I like hosting people. I thought I did. I tried it maybe twice in this new house, and then I was like, I don't think it's for me. Like, I will do it and I will give my all, but I don't necessarily want to do that. And after I socialize with people, I swear I need about 2 weeks to just recover from socializing with people. And I've come to that conclusion that I'm very introverted, extroverted, where he is like a true extrovert. But his way of showing us as a family that he loves us is cooking. So I'm very grateful that you are on my cooking channel today.
Thanks,
my love.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Actually, over here, you see now we have a smoking pan. So we're gonna add a little bit. And this oil is actually not like what's in this bottle. This is from Albania, from her family's farm. So it's like real, natural, untouched olive oil. So this is like gold in this house. Now we have a hot pan, throw the oil in there. One thing that I like to do, because you usually on steaks have like this bit of fat here, so you don't just like throw your steak in there. I like to start with the fat side, so you get a nice little crust on that. You don't have to use your hand. You can use tongs, right? So you don't burn yourself.
Coming up, chef.
I like to use my hand.
Oh.
Oh yes, I'll
Got
take
them
it.
if you want them, chef.
Thank you. See, look at that. More professional. Okay, so let's take a look. What do we got here? See, what do you think about that? You like the
Crispy.
color? Cool.
I like that.
So then let's give it 7 minutes on one side. Do you want me to cut the zucchini a little bit more, or do you want to do it?
What's wrong with the zucchini?
They're a little bit big, so when we make them, and we're gonna do one pan dinner, so you only need one pan. So because they're a little bit big, they're not gonna cook in a uniform way. So if we make them a little bit smaller, we can
Yes,
kind
chef.
of make them as if they were.
I will cut them
Thank
smaller
you.
for you.
And if you want to make your life easier, you can just do this. Look, 2 cuts, one along and one across. Then you get 4.
Oh, that's annoyed me. Okay, yes, chef.
There you go. I like that. I like it crusty.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's good shit. That. That's some good shit. That. Oh yeah.
Ah, perfect, babe. Thank you. Good job. So it's about 7 minutes. This is like a medium. You like it kind of like rare, maybe do like 5-6 minutes. Simple as that. So I put a spoon here because if you put your steak down on the surface, you want some air in between so that way it doesn't get like weird and soggy. So it's, you know, like the heat can escape freely. So we're gonna let that rest like 7 minutes and we're good to make the veggies. Okay, so a little bit of oil, pan is already hot, right? And we're gonna do our asparagus, zucchini. We're gonna add a tiny bit of oil on the top. So one thing, you can add just salt to it, but then you end up with the same taste of just salt on the steak, which obviously has its own steak flavor. And then you have salt here and you have like the veggie stuff.
Hi, Mom.
Thanks, babe. So instead of salt, we're actually, in a minute, we're gonna use a bit of soy sauce. So you have like a little bit of, you know, more like a different flavor profile, you know. Is that our buddy?
This is our best friend. Hi, everyone.
Hi, buddy.
Hi. Did you smell the food as when you woke up?
Voila.
Daddy.
Hola. How you doing? Hi.
Right, there you have it, guys. Pretty simple, easy, high protein, healthy meals that anybody can cook. The steak was a little bit out there, but I hope that with Vic's guidance, it gave you a little bit more confidence to cook steak potentially the proper way. Leave a thumbs up because it does go a long way, and the more love and support that you show this YouTube channel, the more resource that we can put into giving you these free videos, these educational videos, and these helpful videos to guide you on your fitness journey. So it does go a long way and it's very appreciated. We love you always and forever, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.